Okay, marvel at it while it's still clean. I'll try to get some. I'll get a video of it in the daytime. All right, HadesOmega here, and so there it is. There's the Matt Bodos's Synergy BAC 8000 mount installed on the BAC 4000. Okay, so I tried to move this up as much as possible. I don't really need all this extra stuff hanging out here, unfortunately. So that, well, the good thing is if I do get a BAC 8000 in the future, this will work with it. Okay. Now I don't like how far it sticks out. There's a scoop right here. Okay, and it's supposed to let the motor cool down. Okay, and it like barely clears it barely clears it. So here's a underneath shot right there. So the scoop is open. It doesn't block it all the way, so I guess that's okay. Maybe what I might want to do is block this, put some plugs in here and block these off. So since we have the BSC 4000, it's shorter, and we only needed to use 4 of the 6 clamps, okay? So it's interesting design. It's a mount and a heatsink rolled up into one. So one thing I kind of don't, so I'll tell you, let me tell you some things I like and I don't like. What I do like is it's very nice. It's a work of art, I'll tell you that. It's got these heat sinks here, okay? Very thick heat sinks, but they're not very deep, okay? But I'd imagine this whole block functions as a heat sink, okay? It's a like kind of passive kind of design. It's got this logo here. I kind of would rather just have liked the whole thing just to be heat sinks rather than having this logo here, okay? But maybe it does act like a heat sink too, I don't know. It's black, okay? So it looks nice. It looks good on a black bike, I'll tell you that. If I wanted to make it more black, I could probably just put electrical tape over the ASI controller stuff here, okay? It looks nice on the bike. It's bling bling. It's black, okay, so it does look nice with the bike. However, black absorbs heat, okay? So if your bike is in the sun, the heat sink is not going to be, heat sinking so well, okay? It's not going to shed its heat so well if it's in the sun. That's what I want to say. So that's kind of a ding for the black, but it looks nice, okay? The installation was a lot harder than I thought it would. So HadesOmega did a little bit different. I kind of did everything backwards, okay? In the manual, I think it tells you to install the controller onto the heatsink first, okay? And then install the mounts and stuff. But what I did first is, well, I already had it installed on the bike. I didn't want to take any of the wires off, so I did it while it was on the bike, okay? So the spacers, I installed the side spacers first, okay? And then we mounted the controller onto the heatsink, okay? And how I did that was I installed the 2 side clamps here, and I slid it onto the controller. It also helps that I put the heatsink compound on there because it kind of acted like a glue almost. Okay, kept it from sliding down so easily. Yeah, so you get that up there and you kind of get it where you want, and then you put the other ones on, okay? And then when you kind of got it situated, so the thing is, the controller, it can move anywhere along this, pretty much anywhere along the mounting surfaces, okay? So this could slide down here. I could put it on the bottom if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I think tucked up there is good, okay? Now, the what is it? Yeah, so I mean, this can float around here, okay? So you can actually loosen this, and you can actually move the controller up and down, okay? So when we had the whole, so when the heatsink was mounted on there already, we got the spacer in there with the big bolts, and we got the spacers on the side on there, and then the controller's in there. We could adjust the height of the controller, okay? So you can loosen the bolts and then slide it around. Okay, it's got these little claws that latch onto it, and they look like HadesOmega could not make something like this. I'll tell you that. Okay, I could not craft something like this. This is a very precision-made mount. Okay, but yeah, it was kind of complicated to install. If I had to do it again, I could probably do it faster. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah. It took me 2 hours to install this. It's a little longer than I thought it would take. I probably thought it would take like an hour, but you still got to take all the old stuff off too, so that takes some time. I wish I had the stock screws for this, okay, for the heatsink. That mount that go on that connect to the heatsink here. I used the ones that I had, the super long ones that are in there, so I had to kind of like tap them in too because they didn't want to go any farther. I had trouble getting these side holes, the side bolts, to mount up. Okay, I don't like that it pushes the controller out too. I'm surprised it pushes the controller out that far. I have problems with the fender contacting the heatsink, so that's one thing I not like it. And I think it's already touching because I can see marks on the heatsink. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't break my fender. But when I get it on the trailer, I will compress the suspension all the way, and then we'll see if it touches. I'm pretty sure it touches. It looks like there's a lot of thing. I'm not sure. So that's one thing I kind of don't like about this. That's one reason I had to make my heatsink the way it was. So this wouldn't touch it. Okay. Yeah. So also the heatsink fins. It looks like, if you ride in mud and stuff, man. That's my fingernails. My fingernails it's really sharp. It's like grinding my fingernails. If you get a lot of mud on this thing, it's probably gonna not cool as well. Okay, so you probably want to make sure you keep this clean as much as possible. Okay, it looks like mud and dirt and rocks and stuff could get packed up in there. So, yeah. And yeah, I had some fitment problems. I had to like loosen this and then push it up in there until that lined up, and then I could bolt it in. I don't like it. It's super long. I wish I'd bought there was one specifically for the BSC 4000, but I guess, like I said, if I want to upgrade to an 8000, I already have the mount, okay? Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that. Yeah, I think it would just look cleaner if this part wasn't sticking out. But the good thing is this extra chunk of metal here, like I think the price is like the same for the 4000 model and the 8000 model. You're not going to get this extra chunk of metal sticking out here. And like, so you're going to get more for your money. That's what I was saying. You get this extra piece of aluminum sticking out. That's more surface area. That's more cooling, okay? So that definitely helps. In fact, HadesOmega wanted to do his little thing that he did before. He put a heatsink underneath here, to act as like secondary heatsink. We could do that, but I'm not gonna do that. Okay, but yeah, it's nice. It's all black and stuff. I think there is a silver one also, but this is the only one that was in stock, so I wanted to try this out. The good thing is we didn't have to modify the controller in any way. It comes with everything, the spacers and all that stuff. It really did bolt on, with exception that it did require a little bit of fitment. You had to loosen bolts and move stuff around, but it is solid. It's not going anywhere. Your controller's not going anywhere. Heatsink's not going anywhere. I think that's good. Okay. Only time will tell to see how well it holds up to rigorous off-road riding, because that's what we do with the Light Bee, right? Well, one thing I don't like about it is it's heavy. I forgot how many pounds it was. I will put a subtitle below. I think we did weigh it. and it kind of feels like it adds weight to the front of the bike, and that's not where you want the weight to be. You want it to be more in the center, you know. So, but yep, can't have it all, HadesOmega. You wanted heatsink, there it is. We'll have to see how well it does, you know. But I think that'll do pretty good. The surface that mounts onto the controller is not totally flat. From what I remember, it kind of had like a little, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it just wasn't. It didn't look flat. Okay, not flat like this. So it was kind of weird. But we put the heatsink compound on it. I think it should be okay. So also you have to Loctite these bolts that go on the clamps. So yeah, just take one out, put it put the Loctite in and put it back in. So, and the clearance to the horn, not very good. It's like touching it. Yeah, it's touching the spacer. So hopefully these spacers are pretty strong. It's 3D printed stuff. It is 3D printed. HadesOmega is not a fan of the 3D printed stuff because all this 3D printed stuff from ART I'm getting is all breaking after a while. So it's not high quality. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so here's the view from the other side. Also, you're gonna lose this, the cowl, the bolt that goes where the cowl is. Yeah, it's like not even really on there anymore. Yeah, this doesn't go back on here anymore. So I don't know what to do. It just kind of just hangs there now. Okay, but I have this plastic cover here to keep dirt out of it. Okay, what we could probably do is just zip tie it to the spacer. I know. I wish they'd actually made the spacer thick enough where we could put this cowl in. You know, it makes it look neater with this in here. You know, so that's one thing I don't like. They didn't have anything to put the cowl back on. Okay, this is supposed to actually go here. So now you got you got a hole here that doesn't do anything. You know, so I'll just put like a piece of tape over it or something. But I could probably put a zip tie in around the spacer and then put it here to hold the cowl in, but it'll look kind of ghetto, man. So I kind of like it and I kind of don't. Okay, and another thing is the price. It was $125. That's pretty expensive, man. It was somewhere in the neighborhood of $75 or $80. But I can understand, yeah, it's a really nice crafted, made unit. Okay, it's heavy. It's got a lot of meat to it. Hopefully, it works pretty good as a heatsink. So we'll see. But it does look sweet. Does it stick out from the sides? Man, it does stick out from the sides. Yeah, I don't like how it sticks out so much. I wish that they didn't make it stick out that much. I don't need it to stick out that much. Look at, I can get my hand in there. That's how much it sticks out. So it doesn't really need to be that stick out that much. If there's a way I can maybe cut this in half or something and put smaller bolts, cut this one in half and push it up in there a little bit more. I feel like it's sticking out way too much. It's sticking out like more than like the X controller did. So yeah, that's another thing I'm not happy with. We will have to do a test in a later video. We will do a test to see how close it gets to this fender. Because I specifically remembered I made a mount that would push the controller as far inside as possible. This one it actually pushes it out. So I'm kind of not happy with that. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Okay. So yeah, I kind of wish I had the D&M fork. Then I won't have to use this kind of fender. I could use a high fender and it wouldn't touch it. Okay, so that's a kind of final remarks for the Synergy BAC heatsink / mount install. Those are some of the things I noted. Okay, we'll see how long it holds up. See how long the bolts hold up. How long, hopefully the controller doesn't fall off at some point. Hopefully it's on there. Okay, so So this is, like I said, this is for a BAC 8000, but you can use it for a BAC 2000 or 4000, as you can see. So I don't know. I don't know how the 2000 would mount on it. It would look awfully small on that. That's what I'm gonna say. But the nice thing is, it's bolt-on. You don't have to modify anything. Okay, so I didn't modify anything. I did reuse the washer. Okay. Yeah, and so these are the instructions. I wish the instructions came in the box too. This is the first page. It tells you to install it onto the controller already, and then this is to install the spacers. It's upside down, and then you install the other spacer, the top spacer. So it's an interesting design. It's totally different than any other ASI controller mount that I've seen. Okay, it's totally different, but it's very nice, and looks very strong. So hopefully it'll hold. I will in the daytime. I will try to get some pictures of it so you guys can see it a little better. But there it is. All right, oh, okay. Also, I wanted to point out that these are kind of all the goodies that. This is all part of the stuff that was left after the installation. Okay, you get your upper bracket that I got from Electric Race Technologies. There's our lower bracket right here. Okay, and then okay, so these are all the leftover bolts. 4 of them connect to the side mounts. Okay, we took those out and we put longer ones. Okay, and then these are the 2 that go on the top. Okay, that connected to the what's the word? It's called tilt sensor. The tilt sensor. Okay, and then the other 2 we reused. We just put it on the heatsink. Okay, it kind of sucks that they didn't provide you with an extra one. Okay, because all of them are black and these ones are chrome, so it kind of doesn't match. I've got an extra set of clamps right here, two clamps and 4 bolts. Because we have a BAC 4000, we only used 4 of the 6 clamps. Okay, and then this is the hardware for mounting the lower bracket. Okay. Yeah, the Electric Race Technology stuff, the brackets are really light. They're really light, and they look like they're tough. This has been through 1 race, and it looks like it's still pretty good shape. So they revised their 3D printing. Okay, and then this is the heatsink compound, silicone heatsink compound. You can get this at Grainger, or you can order it on Amazon, I guess. But I got it from Grainger for like $6. Totally worth it. Okay, and then Loctite. Make sure you Loctite the controller, the clamps that go to the controller. That's what it says to do. Okay, I didn't put Loctite on anything else. I think it'll be okay. Kind of the pressure will hold it in, hopefully. Just make sure you check those bolts out. And if it does start backing out, then start putting Loctite in. Okay, so yeah. So that's some other extra notes right there. So these will just be extra parts now.